Now, what you just saw there was a march through Warsaw, Poland, composed of 150,000 Poles. What they were marching against was the Islamification of Europe in specific, in addition to EU-mandated quotas for migration into Poland. Basically, these guys are not going to have it. What makes this march extra spicy is that this march comes on the heels of EU-threatened sanctions on Poland. But to really get into that, we have to start at the beginning of the story. And that beginning comes in 2015, with Prime Minister Kopax capitulating to the European Union and agreeing to allow some 7,000 asylum seekers for resettlement into Poland. Well, when the Poles got wind of that, they simply weren't going to have it, and not a month later, voted in a brand new Prime Minister. And here's her attitude on these ridiculous quotas. Now, this is a direct quote. You don't get more awesome than this. I say very clearly that I see no possibility at this time of immigrants coming to Poland. There you have it. The total 180. Why? Because of populism. Thank you, Poland, rock of Europe. Now, this puts the ball back in the European Union's court. What are they to do with this upstart Poland? They don't have a whole bunch of money. They're here on our terms. They need to do what we say. So what do? Well, take a look at this. Well, at first they just simply say, play ball or sit on the sidelines. To that I say, what sidelines? The sidelines where Poland never gets attacked by terrorism? Where Poland has no Islamic extremist problem? Here, take a look at this chart. It's pretty amazing. Maybe you're an American and you're not real good at geography, but I'm gonna guide you in on this. Take a look at all these red dots. Now kind of look in the center of your screen, and it's right in the center really, and there's no red dots. What is that place called? It's Poland. Poland has had no terror attacks since 9/11. Why is that? Could it be because they refuse to let their populace be indoctrinated and overcome with Islamic radicals? I don't know, but just in case you were wondering, Japan also has no terror attacks and also refuses 99% of all asylum seekers. So if the shoe fits, wear it. This might be one of the most underreported statistics ever. But that's not where the story stops. Take a look at this gem. By this point, obviously, leaders in the EU are feeling pretty embarrassed because Poland, this little upstart, this awesome little country, is just defying them at every turn. So what do they recommend doing? Well, invoking Article 7.1. What this article does is impose sanctions on Poland until they can't handle it anymore and must agree or go broke. This is sort of funny for a couple reasons. Number one is obvious. You're going to impose sanctions on your own organization. You're going to punish the entirety of the EU, really, by bringing Poland down, because ultimately, no country in the EU will be allowed to fail, and you're going to bail them out. But, in addition, take a look at this awesome gem that came out as a result. Poland's official government response was, taking migrants is much worse than EU sanctions, which is basically the biggest middle finger they could have possibly given the EU, and to that there's nothing to do but clap. Honestly, I would say there's very little chance Poland ever sees these sanctions followed through, and quite honestly, Poland's now number one on the nations I'd love to visit. So, way to go, you guys are fighting the good fight. I'm a huge fan. Until next time, guys, that's all I have to say on this topic. Like, subscribe, and maybe even share, and I'll see you next time.
Tutaj jest Polska. Tutaj jest nasza ziemia, nasz kraj, nasze prawa i zasady. Tutaj królem jest Jezus Chrystus. Nie interesują nas żadne dyrektywy i kwoty imigrantów, które